given the NRM financial muscle and the fact FDC is crumbling from the inside.
I was part of the formation of FDC. And when I found difficulties working with Dr. Besigye and the team, I did an honorable thing. I retreated back from FDC. But in those times, I made my point. Nobody ever had the conflict that was ongoing, because that is how mature politics is done.
Having lost the 2021 elections to the NRM candidate, Amos John Okot, the former leader of opposition, Professor Genga Latigo, is one of the several top party members who are protected by the NRM, in addition to Regan Okumu, who was defeated by the NRM candidate Simon Okorach in 2021 for Asua County.
That we are struggling to ensure things move on well. It was brought in because of some greed and egoism that some leaders thought probably without them the party would not exist.
The roots of FDC are in the villages and in the parishes, down in the districts, and it has remained intact. They are only waiting for a sense of direction. Just like at the national scene, the FDC party in Acholi sub-region is divided into two factions, one that subscribes to Katonga and the other to Najanankumbi. The journey ahead for the FDC appears to be a bumpy one, unpredictable and financially demanding.
We need change.
Currently, FDC has only 6 members of parliament from Acholi sub-region, including Gilbert Olanya for Clark South, Betty Ayolo Chan, Onekalit Dennis Amere, Kitgum Municipality, Lucy Akelo from Amuru, Okin Pipi Ojara of Chow West, and Anthony Akol of Clark North.
In Gulu City, the only member of parliament still standing on the FDC ticket is the former leader of opposition, Betty Ayolo Ochan, and she's still hopeful that the party will bounce back. But while she's confident of the rebound, more members continue to leave the party, though their destination is not yet known, with the latest being the FDC party speaker in Gulu City, Ogweta Oto.
We must know that the division at national level has created problem here. And that is what President Museveni said a long time ago, that he did not want to see parties. It is in Gulu City I am alone. If you go to Omoro, there is no MP, there is no LC5. So if you go to Aswa, there is no MP, there is no LC5. So those are very challenging, where we don't have our party member as a member of parliament or as LC5. They are at a very lower level, which is not so easy. It is not in my vocabulary, in my mind. I am not in any way about to leave the party. I am there.
Leading human rights lawyer Nicholas Opio has described the embattled politician Matthias Puga as a provisional politician who was luckily catapulted into national politics by his association with the National Unity Platform. Speaking from Gulu, Opio says Matthias Puga should find peace in Noob instead of kicking a storm.
When General Mugisha Muntu was unveiling the new formation, he said that he had 3 options. One was staying in the FDC and fighting within, secondly to fight and rupture the party, and the third was moving out to form a new party. This is similar to the situation the suspended National Unity Platform Deputy President for Buganda, Matthias Mpuga, finds himself in. But analyst and lawyer Nicholas Opio does not hold back when describing the current predicament that Mpuga finds himself in. He believes the embattled Commissioner of Parliament is kicking up a storm, just like he did 4 years ago with the Democratic Party.
Together with his colleagues, they could have had a chance to form their own party, but they couldn't. And they moved en masse into a new political party, NUP. When he moved to NUP, Mpuga was a provincial MP, little known outside Buganda. Mpuga was, his only claim to some sort of stature in Buganda was that he was a Buganda minister and a Masaka MP.
Opia says Mpuga should find peace in the National Unity Platform no matter the challenges.
It was by the grace of Noob that Mpuga was catapulted into national politics. So really, the 2.5 years he has spent as leader of opposition is what really elevated him to national politics. And Mpuga has to understand that without NUP, he would have remained a bitter, petulant Muganda DP MP from Masaka. If Mpuga wants to maintain national stature, his only place is to find peace in NUP.
He, however, calls on the National Unity Platform to be fair while handling the Mpuga situation.
That in dealing with these issues, the party ought to be fair, the party ought to be objective, and not subject Mpuga to an unfair process.
Currently, the National Unity Platform is struggling to overcome scenarios of institutional crisis with no hopes for negotiations between warring parties.
Uganda Medical Association has launched an inquiry into allegations of unethical practices and the influence of money in clinical decision-making within the country's healthcare system. These concerns center around what is commonly known as cut practice, where doctors or hospitals receive commissions for referring patients for medical investigations like MRI scans, CT scans, X-ray scans, and surgeries, among others.
Instances of illegal commissions being offered to doctors or hospitals by fellow doctors or private laboratories for patient referrals have become long-standing and widespread in Uganda's healthcare sector.
For example, you find a patient is being referred to India to go and do surgery from there. But when you look at the nature of the surgery which needs to be done, and you consult with the colleagues in Kenya through Kenya Medical Association, then the president of Kenya Medical Association tells you that this procedure can be done here in Kenya, and even tells you about the facilities, sometimes they even give you contacts.
We have to streamline referrals. It should not only be through the medical board when it is a referral through the government structure and where money is being drawn from the consolidated fund. Even referrals in the private sector, ideally, are supposed to go through the medical board so that we're able to take stock as government, as a country, that we have X number of patients who have gone abroad for cancer treatment.
According to authorities, commissions for referrals, commonly known as cuts or kickbacks, have become a commonplace where patients are referred to abroad, most of India. The president of the Uganda Medical Association, Dr. Herbert Ruswata, notes that it is not uncommon for patients being advised unnecessary treatments and a false sense of health security.
It is useless to refer a patient to India, and then they are not able to raise the funds themselves. They try to fundraise and they still fail to get the money. And then they just go back home and die or fail to get the care. Yet there are other cheaper options.
Cut price refers to a commission given to one doctor or a hospital for referring a patient for investigations such as MRI scans, CT scans, surgeries, and X-rays. In some referral countries like India, commission ranges between 40 to 60% of the actual patient's bill. Dr. Ruswata advises the general public to always apply the sixth sense in decision-making before they embark on the journey.
Let the patients not always fear to get a second opinion. They can always reach out to us. We have a full committee for ethics and professionalism. If a patient feels they are being overbilled, they are being referred to a place where the bills are too high and maybe they cannot afford to reach there, we can always look into their cases and then provide better alternatives where they can afford and at the end of the day be able to receive care.
With calls for greater scrutiny and oversight, the Uganda Medical Association and the Parliamentary Health Committee are committed to addressing these unethical practices and restoring integrity to the healthcare system.
Renowned health expert Professor Francis Omaswa is advocating for stricter regulation of Uganda's healthcare industry, citing concerns that unethical practices drive up healthcare costs for majority of Ugandans. He is proposing the establishment of a verification medical board for all referrers besides the government board. Professor Omaswa emphasizes the importance of building trust in the country's healthcare system.
It should not be abused. It should not be abused. Patients should not be referred abroad when they don't need to be referred, and also the doctors who refer them should not do so just to make money. But also our patients need to trust us more, to trust the Uganda medical system more, because there are patients who will come to a doctor and ask to be referred. when they don't need to be referred. And they may do this for various reasons. There's some people who want privacy. They don't want the public in Uganda here to know that they are undergoing treatment. And they should be allowed to have their privacy. And the Uganda Medical and Dental Practitioners Council should investigate this matter and establish whether it is happening or not. And guide the doctors here about getting cuts for referring patients abroad. But others will argue, if I want to go abroad to be treated without the people of Uganda knowing about it, it is my business, why should I go through this board? There will be those arguments. But in the public interest, if there is an ongoing abuse which we want to control, we may have to take drastic measures for which the public has to pay a price to protect the majority.
The State Minister for Lands in charge of housing, Persis Namganza, has raised concern over the state of buildings in Hoima City. Namganza says the Hoima City planning is in a shame and doesn't reflect the Hoima Oil City. Namganza says the city planners need to be intentional and talk to landowners, especially those that can't develop their own plots, to enter into private partnership with government. Hoima was named a city in 2020 in a move that was meant to improve service delivery, spur development and improve planning. Most of the buildings in the city are said to be old-fashioned, with streets littered with garbage and poorly planned roads. Minister Namganza wonders how leaders pride in a dirty city, and this is what she says about the state of Hoima City.
As you approach Hoima, the streets are not all that interesting, and the middle city itself, the kind of houses which are there, those houses, some of them have been condemned, others are really unfit for the state status. So I'll be visiting Hoima City to sit with the Hoima administration, and we also talk to the landlords. Some of those houses belong to private people, and to see how they can partner with the government, whether they can sell land to us or we can partner together and develop this city to fit a city status. Because as you see, there is a lot of space wasted, whereby smaller houses are occupying very, very prime land, and they are not painted, they are not renovated, and so it gives a bad picture of a city status. In fact, as many people come here, they may wonder which city is like this. And then the level of hygiene is also really not so good. And so this is really one thing.
Top stories brought to you by. Stay ahead in your business with Bank of Africa's contract financing solutions, available at every stage of your contract. Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner.
Now let's take a look at the top stories for the night. Religious leaders urge Christians to forget the past and press forward during the Easter prayers. We also looked at the new Principal Robert Chagulanyi, who preaches forgiveness on this Easter Sunday, and suspended Noob Buganda Deputy President advised to find peace in Noob instead of kicking the storm. Those were some of our top stories for tonight. Now, Live at 9 takes a short break. We'll be back with more stories.
The government of Uganda, in collaboration with the International Telecommunication Union, ITU, welcomes you to the Global Symposium for Regulators, GSR 24, taking place at the Speak Resort and Convention Center Munyonyo in Kampala from July 1st to 4th, 2024. The Global Symposium for Regulators is an annual event organized by the International Telecommunication Union, ITU. The GSR brings together 700 international delegates, including the world's telecommunication and information communication technology regulators, policymakers, and industry stakeholders. Let's work together to promote regulation for impact. Welcome to GSR 24 Kampala.
Spice up your breakfast with Prestige margarine. Easy to spread and fortified with vitamins A, D, and E. Now available in original and vanilla flavors. Perfect for your bread, chapati, mandazi, and all your baking needs. Find Prestige margarine at nearby supermarkets and shops. Distributed by Chapa General Enterprises, shop number 3, Chikovo, Rafik Building, Kampala. Prestige margarine. Spread it, taste it, love it.
Pepsodent is aware that globally, 1 in 2 children have dental cavities. That's why by giving her Pepsodent, you're not only protecting her teeth, but also helping her grow up and thrive at every stage of her life with a healthy and confident smile, so she can succeed and achieve all of her dreams. Because every smile matters.
My bossy, can I borrow fuero? Biggie money, can I borrow renty? Manager, give me some caloni. Okay, what about the 5K?
When you need a loan, you've got MTN Momo. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Welcome back. Now, days after the police put its fixed-wing 30 billion shilling aircraft on sale, observers want that those who procured the aircraft should be jailed. These say the matter should be investigated and responsible officers jailed for blundering taxpayers' money by purchasing an aircraft without doing due diligence.
The aircraft in question was acquired in 2019 for $7 million, approximately 30 billion Ugandan shillings. Despite the need for aircraft in police rescue and surveillance operations, it has only flown for 117 hours since acquisition. Unlike other police helicopters, this aircraft requires a paved runway for navigation, which is impractical for police operations. The police have listed it on the market with a current selling price at 16 billion shillings. John Musira, the MP for Bubulo East, expresses regret over the wasteful purchase and emphasized that those responsible be held accountable.
Such people should be in Ruzira. Especially those who did the feasibility, those who did the procurement. What did you procure?
Private investigator Fred Egesa concurs with Musira and wonders whether there are any steps taken to reprimand the perpetrators given the considerable financial loss the country has incurred.
That was not even a technical mistake. That was day robbery.
Both Musira and Egesa questioned how the police procure the aircraft without prior expert analysis of what the force needs for its operations.
Why would somebody buy a helicopter which is not to this terrain? What was the feasibility? And who did that? And before you buy it, you inspect even. So the civil servants must have gone to inspect.
Police is quick action. Now, if you bring in a helicopter or maybe almost a semi-plane that is supposed to access a runway before it lands, then that's a luxury kind of chopper, or maybe to me I would call it a semi-plane.
Musira put the blame on civil servants who are seeking personal gain in every purchase.
Filthy, archaic things are civil servants.
Considering the demands of police rescue and operations, they require a helicopter capable of landing anywhere and operating in all conditions. However, the purchased aircraft, despite being obtained at a high cost, comes with numerous limitations and requires a runway.
The Minister of Gender, Betty Amongi, has instructed the Central Organization of Free Trade Unions to undertake a swift inspection in industrial parks to check all alleged gross abuse of workers' rights. Amongi blames the plight of workers on Parliament's failure to retable the Employment Amendment Bill, which was previously returned to Parliament with President Museveni's supplements.
1-0.
While officiating at the Central Organization of Free Trade Unions Annual Delegates Conference in Kampala, the Minister of Gender, Betty Among, revealed that trade unions have neglected their mandate of negotiating for workers' rights, yet there is an imminent threat of workers' freedoms in industrial parks.
What is happening in the industrial park is not good. The workers' rights in some of those industrial parks. Workers' rights in areas where there are construction.
Among instructed COF to coordinate a joint inspection team to establish the state of working conditions in industrial parks where complaints have been repeatedly logged to her office.
Why don't we have that exercise and sample only like 10 big industrial parks? You will see those people will come to order.
Unfortunately, even workers' MPs have no clear explanation on the bill that has gathered dust on the shelves of Parliament.
The Employment Amendment Bill. Remember, I had moved as a private member, and again government came on board, and we agreed to merge. But up to now, we don't know where the law is.
There are some working places which are not, it's not supposed to be for human beings. People are really harassed.
The Secretary General of the Central Organization of Free Trade Unions, Dr. Sam Lumoki, stresses the need to speed up retabling of the Employment Amendment Bill that Parliament has not reconsidered. He says the delays in retabling the bill is a big blow for the workers' movement, thus creating leeway for violation of workers' rights in industrial parks.
2-1-0.
The way workers are working, whether the working is good, and to find out the what we say about standards in terms of occupational safety, in terms of other rights. Occupational safety includes things like where workers have accidents and other problems in terms of the environment. So we shall be looking at all these other standards of work, whether the ILO conventions are met and the standards are upheld. We as COF2, we as centers, we are going to work with the Minister, with our sister center, to make sure that we carry forward that joint inspection so that we can be able to move forward.
Now, Uganda is regarded one of the most biodiverse countries on the planet by the United Nations. This has seen the population of several species more than double between 1983 and 2023 due to enhanced integrity of the protected areas. In numbers that matter, we look at the census of wildlife population with reports indicating that gorillas have increased. Let's take a look at those numbers. The gorillas rose from 302 in mid-2000 to 459 in 2022. Lions, on the other hand, have sharply declined due to killing as a result of human and wildlife conflicts, declining from the peak of 493 to 275 in 2023. The largest number of lions, that is 224, are found in Markshan Falls National Park. Buffalo population increased in the last 2 decades, rising from about 21,565 between 2007 and 2010 to 44,163 in 2022. Elephants population increased over the years from about 4,300 to close to 8,000 at present. Those are the numbers indicating the wildlife population as of today. Now moving on to other stories for tonight, Toro district councillors from the 4 constituencies in West Budama are threatening to collect signatures to petition the Speaker of Parliament over delayed construction of Nagongera Busolwe Road. The group alleges that the road in question has been in the NRM manifesto for the past 4 terms, yet it remains in a sorry state.
These are some of the district councillors from West Budama in Toro district.
Accompanied by the electorates, the group has launched a process of soliciting signatures from locals to petition the Speaker of Parliament over delayed construction of Nagongira-Busolwe Road.
Once we've signed all this, we shall carry these signatures from the people so that we submit to the Speaker of Parliament so that the matter of this road can be debated and a proper direction be given so that we fast-track the implementation of this road.
These claim that they are currently finding hard times with electorates over delayed road construction.
Promise is a debt, and when you promise the people something, and we as politicians, we have been moving on that same manifesto of the roads, promising our people that the road is going to be worked upon. Up to now, it is in vain.
We saw some kind of feasibility study being taken up, and that is not the first time it's being done.
The road in question is said to be costing lives and consequently hampering access to markets.
The PDM program of government has really given very positive development in this community. But we are seeing, if you go now, that people who have invested in agriculture, they are losing out because the roads are impassable everywhere, including this road we are talking about.
You need to transport yourself to the referral in case Health Center 4 refer you to main hospital. That is a challenge, and we have lost a number of lives, most especially expectant mothers who need to rush to the hospital for the purpose of delivery.
Recently, the contractor withdrew the road equipment from the site within just weeks for unclear reasons.
In foreign news tonight, Pope Francis has used his traditional Easter message to call for a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip and for the return of Israeli hostages held by Hamas. This and more in Foreign Wrap.
The 87-year-old pontiff led Easter Mass at the Vatican in front of thousands, despite concerns over his health. Referring to conflicts around the world, the Pope pleaded not to yield to the logic of weapons and rearming. The pontiff said, peace is never made with arms, but with outstretched hands and open hearts. Tens of thousands of worshippers gathered in St. Peter's Square to hear the Pope. In the UK, King Charles has greeted well-wishers in his first major public appearance since being diagnosed with cancer. The king spoke to crowds and shook people's hands after the Easter Sunday service in Windsor, where he was accompanied by Queen Camilla. The Prince and Princess of Wales did not attend as Catherine continues her cancer treatment. Elsewhere, millions of Turks are voting in elections to decide who runs their biggest cities and whether President Recep Tayyip Erdogan can wrestle back control from the opposition. Turkey's economic and social powerhouse, Istanbul, was won by a united opposition 5 years ago, under popular mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu, shattering the president's long run of electoral success. Now Mr. Erdogan, who was born in this megacity of 16 million people, wants it back, and the vote is on a knife edge.
Now, as we continue with the month of Ramadan, we look at the Ramadan tip for tonight.
Brought to you by Willy Travel, your life-changing journey.
Overcoming bad habits in Ramadan. We have bad habits. We do some sins that people don't know. We delay our decision making. Sometimes we are lazy. The backlog of work. A lot of things are happening. Our relationship with Allah is not that good. Those bad habits, it's time to change them. Shaitan is chained. We can overcome our bad habits. We can have that courage to see that we overcome bad habits. Yes, you can. You can change. You can overcome. The bad habits are from Shaitan. The good habits are from Allah. Work on your good habits. Work on your strength. And also abstain from all evil, from bad habits. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthen you and strengthen me and strengthen us all to change our bad habits.
Brought to you by Welly Travel, your life-changing journey.
Hello?
Boss, invoices haven't been paid.
Yeah?
We have no money and we can't make payroll.
Hello?
Mzee, we need a new cement mixer.
What?
Work has stopped.
Stay ahead in your business with Bank of Africa's contract financing solutions available at every stage of your contract. Visit the nearest branch or call our toll-free number 0800 100 140 to learn more. Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner.
Attention everyone, the Ministry of Health has planned to vaccinate all persons aged 1 year to 60 years old to protect them against yellow fever disease. The mass vaccination will take place in 53 districts in these regions: Kampala, Buganda, Teso, Ankole and Karamoja. Vaccination is free and available at all government health facilities and outreach posts in these regions. The vaccination campaign will take place from April 2nd to April 8th, 2024. The vaccine is safe, effective and free of charge and has been approved by World Health Organization and Ministry of Health. This message is from Ministry of Health with support from Gavi.
The government of Uganda, in collaboration with the International Telecommunication Union, ITU, welcomes you to the Global Symposium for Regulators, GSR 24, taking place at the Speak Resort and Convention Center Munyonyo in Kampala from July 1st to 4th, 2024. The Global Symposium for Regulators is an annual event organized by the International Telecommunication Union, ITU. The GSR brings together 700 international delegates, including the world's telecommunication and information communication technology regulators, policymakers, and industry stakeholders. Let's work together to promote regulation for impact. Welcome to GSR 24 Kampala.
In December, you would shop without a shopping list. You would even ask for a driver for your shopping cart.
Hey, honestly, you want me to pay? And again, I carry. Ha, get someone to carry these things.
But now New Year is here. You're even carrying the weighing scale to the shop.
But, Chiruba, I can't come take a shower.
New Year, come here one more party too with all its problems. But don't worry, because all is sorted with Stanbic Bank. Simply pay using your Stanbic Visa card or FlexiPay and stand to win up to a 10% cashback. For more information, contact us on 0800 150 150 or visit our social media platforms.
Oh, Sarah, these two are creeping into your personal space. Why don't we send them packing? Or maybe not. Business Pop.
Welcome back. In business tonight, Uganda National Oil Company's ESG strategy, which demonstrates the company's work plan for addressing its environmental aspects, has seen the giant oil company increase local content participation in the oil and gas sector, but also mitigate the impacts of climate change through projects of afforestation, of planting 40 million trees on 40,000 to 100,000 hectares, including wetland restoration as an initial intervention to realize the equivalent carbon drawn down that will be realized to the atmosphere during the refining of Uganda's crude oil.
Tell us more about UNOC's ESG strategy and the environment initiative specifically.
Uganda National Oil Company
has put in place a comprehensive strategy. We call it the ESG strategy, but in essence, in full, this is really talking about the environment, the social license to operate, and governance issues, because environment is key to us, but environment without governance issues handled is really not doing good justice. So we have a comprehensive strategy that is looking at the environment and how we impact the environment and the mitigation measures in place. We have and the S standing for the social license to operate, the social aspects of the projects we are putting up. How are we engaging communities? What are we putting in place? And how do we finally get that ticket to operate in an environmentally friendly manner? Then the G stands for the governance issues. In governance, you're looking at your operations, the accountability, the transparency, and the integrity. Integrity meaning, when you say you have integrity, it's basically what you say is what you do. You walk the talk. You have integrity in the business, you have integrity in the way staff operate, you have integrity over everything, really. So that's the ESG strategy, and it is comprehensive because different aspects are being executed in a different way. I'll give you an example. On the environment, which is what you're really interested in, which we shall focus on today, the E part of our strategy. What initiatives has UNOC put in place? The first starting point we did after having a strategy was creating what we called like an alliance, because we can't walk alone on this environmental journey given the projects we have. So we have an alliance, we launched it, and it's called the Alliance for Climate Resilience. What that means, that we are putting in place things that are thinking about the climate, adaptation, mitigation measures as we operate. Now, under the SCR, the key thing we are starting with, having known the kind of projects we are bringing on stream, is planting trees. And our desire, our objective, is to plant between 40 million and 100 million trees. So we are putting up these trees such that when the refinery finally comes on stream, the airs or the emissions it will do, you already have over 40 million trees to pull that bad air out and keep the environment clean.
Still in business, Ugandan farmers are set to pay the price of duty-free sugar policy, as millers say domestic market sales have also been affected by the smuggled sugar, resulting in a build-up in stock.
Duty-free sugar import window that some East African Community member states enjoy to plug local sugar deficit is being blamed for the sharp drop in prices in Uganda. At the beginning of the 2023-2024 financial year, the East African Secretariat gave Rwanda, Tanzania and Kenya the green light to import tax-free sugar to plug the domestic deficit, but the measure has sharply eaten into Uganda's regional sugar export market. Farmers are now feeling the pinch after the cane prices also dropped due to the low demand at the factories as a result of competition from imported sugar that has flooded the market. In the face of the shrinking regional sugar market, Bank of Uganda statistics show that millers have suffered a significant loss of the export market share, even when in 2022 Kenya and Uganda had filed complaints to the East African Business Council, the regional lobby, over the law that raised import taxes on goods from the non-East African countries to 35%. Meanwhile, Kenya Airways has applied for an extension of a special exemption granted 2 years ago, allowing creation and sharing of revenues on route service in a joint venture packed with Tanzania's Precision Air. The Competition Authority of Kenya, in its latest report for the financial year ending June 2023, said the application is under review. The deal enables the two airlines to coordinate their network, align fares on the joint venture routes, and coordinate the management of revenue on the routes and coordinate marketing and sales.
Business Pulse.
At NCBA, we can tailor-make your SME business solution to suit your business. It's what we have done for over 50,000 businesses so far.
50
50,000? Mommy, that is 50,000 families with 50,000 meals every day and 50,000 dreams coming to life.
We know that it's not about the business, but about caring for loved ones. Get NCBA SME Banking Solutions. The name is NCBA, and the numbers that matter to you matter to us. NCBA Bank. Go for it.
Imagine boarding a plane only to discover your border guy Musa is the pilot, or going into the treatment room and Zizinga the mechanic will be doing your body check. We all want to be served by professionals, and professions have standards, including insurance. Trust the Insurance Training College to maintain high standards of insurance professionals in Uganda through training and certification programs that are accredited by the National Council for Higher Education. For more information, visit www.itc.sc.ug or email info@itc.sc.ug. Insurance Training College, enhancing professionalism. The membership and training arm of the insurance industry in Uganda.
Gold. We all want it. That soft yellow glow of a subdued sun in your hands. That precious polish of elegance. To hold it is one thing, but to taste it is everything else. Relish the satisfying taste of a beer, unmatched in quality, unmatched in consistency, and with 23 Global Gold Awards. A beer unmatched in gold.
Our stories begin right here, and we never write them alone. Sometimes we write them with someone who puts our story first. Other times with someone who puts their own story first. There'll be pages we love to read again and again, and some we'll barely remember. Sometimes we feel like the hero of our story, and other times, not. There are stories of dreamers, stories of creators, stories of strivers, stories of believers, and we're inspired by them all. That's why we invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters.
Oh, Sarah, these two are creeping into your personal space. Why don't we send them packing? Or maybe not.
Sports news brought to you by
Black shines bright. Drink it in.
Welcome back. In sport tonight, Bob Dwani was last evening crowned the overall winner of this month's Stanbic Golf Mag. Bob pulled 63 net to win the month of March Golf Mag hosted at the Uganda Golf Club in Chitante.
Amateur golfer Bob Dwani has attributed his triumph at the Stanbic Golf Mag of March to his approved skills and gallant team around him. With 63 net, Dwani beat over 150 golfers that took part in this month's mag, hosted at the Uganda Golf Club in Chitante.
You know, normally your golf comes through your skill set, but also the company you play with sometimes matters a lot. So I played with Dean, I played with Bash, and I played with Godwin. And I would not want to talk about the conversations that we had on the golf course. But it was very inspiring. Now, those of you who know the way we play, it was very inspiring. The front nine, I think I only got 2 strokes.
For the last 5 years, Stanbic Uganda has bankrolled the monthly mags, and this year's tournament will run up to December 21st. Israel Alinetwe, the Stanbic head of personal markets, was impressed by the level of enthusiasm and skills displayed.
from the time we've supported the game of golf, what we've seen is our clients, our people getting together a lot more often to exercise, to socialize, and enjoy time together. And we've seen that. And
the weekend edition attracted a good number of players, and Piquet batting had to go on till late to the 19th hole. Casendo Alexander, Israel Alinitwe, and Kim Hyung-sul topped their respective groups. In the ladies category, Mutesi Lydia netted 75 net to top Group A, while Shuzanta Shobia with 66 topped Group B. The tournament returns this coming month at the Uganda Golf Club. Rita Tugumisirize, Ahab Bwesije, NBS Live at 9.
Sports news brought to you by
Black shines bright. Drink it in.
Rachel Rich. The Queen Cobra, the password of the money, the original no spare parts, the 11th commandment, the question and the answer.
Osmosis. I know you want money, but I'm also broke.
Ah, no. Money is not an object. These days, Momo sorts me out anytime. In fact, my sister, let me also sort you out.
Really?
I've just sent you instructions on how to get a loan on Momo. I'm here for you. Can I borrow some chips?
When you need a loan, you've got MTN Momo. We're so tingy. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Are you on the search for the best furniture such as deluxe sofa sets, beds, wardrobes, dining tables and more for bars, office, home use and hotel furniture? Chigo Mutunga Carpentry Village, the one-stop center for your variety of furniture made and designed by professional carpenters from Zambia is the answer. The facility was donated by His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to the carpenters who were formerly in Zambia. We are located at Chigo, fast traffic lights from Kajansi off to Serena Hotel, or contact us on 0759 180 175 or 0786 413 086. Chigo Mutunga Carpentry Village, ready to serve.
Sparkle Salon knows that good grooming is not an option in the modern world. It's a basic need. A need which we have for over 2 decades mastered provision of by building a great team of professionals and never compromising on the quality of our products. A need that we exist for and are very serious about. We want to give you the look that you desire. We have created great ambiances and convenience for our clients at all of our branches at Oasis Mall, Garden City, Lugogo Mall, Forest Mall, and Acacia Mall. Sparkle Salon, inspired by your needs.
Well, that wraps up Live at 9. From me, it's good night. Up next is People and Power with Mildred Heise.